Good evening. Welcome back to another episode of the Frugal Outdoors and myself, Dylan. It is absolutely stunning this evening. I say this evening, it's about 6 o'clock maybe. It's the Tuesday after the comp. So I wanted to use up that rag before it gets too bad, courtesy of Steve, who gave it to me on Saturday night. We were going to go somewhere else, but we decided to come to, if you can see, very, very sunny, Fort Victoria, and we're going to fish off the beach. There we go. So that's sort of Fort Victoria in the wall just there. I've never fished off the beach before. It's possibly not a brilliant tide. Tom's just cast out and he said he's not holding bottom with a 6 ounce. I've only got 5s, so I'm not going to be whacking it. Not yet anyway. Low tide is about 8 to 9 o'clock. But it's not a massive tide, and sometimes you can fish Fort Victoria on an ebb. It's not advisable because it can get very snaggy, and it's much stronger on the way out than it is on the way in. But we'll get a bit of the turn of the tide as well, which would be nice. Target species could be anything, to be honest, tonight. I mean, I don't actually have a target in mind. I've got some squid, I've got some mackerel, I've got some sand eels, and I've got some rag. And I'm just going to have a bit of fun, really. I'm just going to chuck some bait out in the water, see what we can catch. I'm sure, well, not sure, but I reckon we might possibly get a dogfish. There's possibly a smooth hound, could be a ray, could be a bass, could be anything really. It'd be nice just to get a fish or two. So I'm down with Tom's dad. Nick's on his way down, but it is stunning. Got my tripod, that's as far as I've got. So I'm going to get set up, show you my rigs, same old stuff, show you my rods, show you my rigs, get a bait in the water. Here we go. Right, I will try and make this as brief as possible. Might have made a little bit of an error. I've brought the ST and the GT, ST being quite soft. I was going to bring the Mag 4, which is a 6 and bait, but hey ho, I thought it was in the van and it's not, so that's what we got. I've changed back to £25 straight through because it is potentially going to be snaggy down here, and I don't want to be leaving a leader out in there for somebody else to snag into. All the way up to the end. Whoopsie. I've got a Portsmouth loop rig there with size 1s, 2 rag on the bottom, 2 rag on the top. Top one is tipped off with a little bit of mackerel. 5 ounce gripper, 5 ounce gripper that side, pulley pennel with a 3.0 specimen hook, and that has got mackerel and squid wrapped together. Right, let's get these out. There we go, they're out. Let's change that a bit so you can actually see the tops of the rods, kinda. Yeah, we're fishing. I've cast to the right because, like I say, it is ebbing, so it is going to pull to the left. If they move, then at least then they'll straighten up in front of me. They don't appear to be moving that bad actually at the minute. They're sort of sitting there quite nicely, so. Ooh. Potential for bream as well. I forgot about bream. Nick just reminded me, so I am going to do up a bream rig very quickly and get some squid on that, and that can go out next. But I'm going to bring that first rod in with the worm on, because Nick's just brought his in and they're bare hooked, so only been in the water for about 15 minutes. So I'm going to have a quick check, whack another one out. Right, so this time I've got a straight mackerel on the bottom hook and rag tipped with mackerel on the top hook. That rag on the bottom hook, the mackerel on the bottom hook is dedicated to Chris. It is super still right now. Tide has stopped running a bit earlier than we thought. There's not a breath of wind. The only thing you can hear is a few birds, a few seagulls and stuff like that. Terns. Absolutely stunning. If this isn't good for a mine reset, then I don't know what is. Well, there we go, light is starting to go, tide has definitely changed. So timing wise is perfect really, because we're hitting the bottom of the tide on the turn and the sun is about to disappear. So fingers crossed, get into a couple of fish. Nick's already had a bass, but we don't talk about that because it was on his first cast, so it doesn't count.
Hey. Didn't even see a bite.
Hey, there we go. We saved a blank. Got a little pouting on the top hook. Not very big at all. Maybe 7-8 inches. And a lovely little spotted dogfish. I'll get these unhooked. I think that was on plain rag on the top, and then I think that one might have been tipped, or one of the other way, one way round. But there we go, we're in. Oh, I think Tom's in as well. What you got, Tom? No, it's a hound, isn't it? Everybody loves seeing you catch fish.
On that. Let me unhook him.
There we go. So that's the first hound I've seen caught this year off the beach. Not a bad size as well, really. It's got to be a few pounds, isn't it?
6 or 7.
Beauty. Well done, mate.
Lovely.
What'd you catch him on?
I think it was actually on sardine.
Was it?
Oh no, it wasn't. Mackerel.
Nice, mate. Beauty. Well done, bud.
Lovely. Cheers, mate.
They're super great fish to fight, aren't they?
Yeah.
They just fight all the way in. Well done, mate.
Lovely.
Oh, there we go. Well, hang on, let's clean that. Is that any better? There we go. Yeah, first hound of the season, man, that I've seen. Wicked. On sardine as well. So there we go. There's definitely some fish out there. I haven't brought any crab either tonight, but I have brought extra squid just in cases. So I think I'll, in a minute, I will chuck a squid bait out. But in the meantime, I need to unhook these two fish very quickly, get them in, and get another bait out. Oh, there's my rig there. Yeah. There we go. Right, I'm gonna have to get a light sorted here. It wasn't on sardine, it was on mackerel, believe it or not. But yeah, £7 something, I think it was. Yeah, cracking fish. Smooth hounds are wicked though, they're wicked fun to catch. So yeah, hopefully, a sign of things to come. That was right on the bottom of the tide, right as soon as it's turned. So hopefully, we can all pull out a few fish, that'd be amazing. Hello, what's going on? There we go, second fish. Didn't even know it was on there, to be honest. I didn't know the other ones were on either. Thing with it's pretty decent sized dogfish, this one, to be honest. Thing with fishing here, when you get dogfish on, they tend to sit in the tide, and because the tide is rushing anyway, you don't really know it's on there. But yeah, that's a decent sized doggy. But she's gone back. Wait, I pooped. Christ knows what I'm going to do if I get a £3 fish. But one thing I will say, always good to take your bailing arm off.
We'll go and fucking retrieve that rig, mate.
Well, I was going to say I was going to put one in close. Well, I didn't mean it to be that close. I forgot to take my bailing arm off. Yo! Bailing, thanks mate.
Oi, Dylan.
So my right hand rod, you see it there, doubled right over. Lead's not on the bottom, I don't think it's pulling, so I think it could have a dogfish on. I'm going to check it. I think that's a double squid. Well, we're just coming up to 9:30. Just had a slack line bite, and I had to reel it a good few times to catch up with it, but nothing on there, so something picked it up anyway. But it's gone a little bit quiet. I think the tide was really quite fierce to begin with, and we all had a couple of fish, and then it's slackened right off a little bit, so hopefully it will pick up again. It goes through stages here, so but I'm sure we'll probably, well, I'm not sure, I'd like to think we'll still pull out a few more fish. Might just be dogfish, but fish is a fish. I think I've been getting that small little nod on my left hand rod, so there might be one on there. Right, I'm going to chuck out a little bit of a ray bait now. I've been sort of mixing it up and just chucking any old thing out, to be honest, really. I haven't really had any sort of plan tonight. But I've got a it's a whole sand eel, medium sand eel, on my baiting tool with a strip of squid, only about 10mm wide. It's about a centimetre wide and the same length as a sand eel. I'm going to bind them together. I'm going to put that on my loop rig, the Pennell one that I use, the 2.0. So that'll go on the bottom, and then I'll probably just put a piece of mackerel, I think, on the top hook for the 2.0. So I'll have this on the bottom, and then a piece of mackerel on the top. I'll be firing that out in about 2 minutes. Right, I'll quickly show you the next bait that's going to go out, because it's 20 past 10 now, so I'm going to have another couple of casts, but not too many. So I want to use up the rag because I have it. So I've bundled up a load there. Rag sausage on a size 1, another rag sausage on a size 1 on the pulley. I'm going to whack that out in a minute. I have actually got a little soul rig out there at the moment, in super close. It's only been out there for about 10 minutes, not even probably. But I'd like to have a proper good session on trying to get a sole. Normally, not normally, but I have been told it's pretty good for sole down here. So, and I've never had one. So this year, I'm trying to get one. And then there was one. The other guys are gone now. It's about, I don't know what the time is. Must be about 11. Maybe 11:15. I've had my last cast though, in all fairness, so I've put those rag sausages out, and I've put a fillet of pout out on the other one on a loop, on a up and over rig, and I'm just going to leave them in there. I've packed a few bits away, but I'm going to leave them out there for another 10 minutes or so, in the hope that I can't just winkle out another fish. It's not been too bad, a couple of dogs, but it'd be nice to get something else. Nice to see a hound. That's the first time I've seen a hound this year. So it's good to know that they're about, and I've kept thinking that the last 2 comps I thought, oh, there's a chance of a hound. So yeah, I think I'll give it another couple of weeks, and then I'll go out with a bunch of crab and squid, and I'll really have a go, see if I can get one. But yeah, I'm going to sit back, enjoy the quietness of just me sitting on the beach on my own for 5 minutes, and then I'll come back to you. Get a decent bite on the right hand rod. That's the rag sausage. Gonna leave it go just a tiny little bit longer. It's still going, but it's only got size 1 hooks, and it's quite a big rag sausage, so I want to make sure it can find a hook. I think it's probably only a dogfish, but hey ho, it's a fish. Huh. Well, I was convinced that was on. I reeled in, and for some reason 2 of my splashdown rigs tonight, the clips, the Gemini splashdowns, haven't. One keeps on disengaging, like it's sliding really easily, and it's a brand new one. So I think sometimes there's a little metal clip that comes down and it rubs on the plastic, which gives it the resistance. That's not working, so that kept on coming unclipped, and this one didn't come unclipped at all. So the top hook had come off the pulley and the bottom one was still on. That's not happened before, so I know I've chucked it out. I'm going to give it another 5 minutes. Something was obviously after the rag, so I'll give it another 5 minutes, and hopefully this time we can get it, or get something. Well, I'll give it another 5 minutes. I'm going to call it a night. Like I say, I'm sat here on my own. It's actually getting quite cold now. I think they said it's getting down to 6 degrees. Yeah, I think that I've got a feeling I might have. My other rig also didn't unclip. I just pulled it in, and I think because there's a little hole in one of those splashdowns, and I've put the hook in the wrong hole, so it wouldn't come unclipped. It won't come out, and I may have done the same with this one. So I'm going to bring it in anyway, because I don't think it's fishing. But yeah, I had a couple of fish, a couple of dogfish, 1 pout. But it's just nice to come out. I've never fished this part of Fort Victoria. It's absolutely stunning. We used to come, before we moved to Ireland, we used to come here, and we'd have a fire on the beach, have a cook up, cook some food, drink a couple of bottles of wine, watch the sunset, and it's absolutely stunning. So yeah, it's bringing back some really good memories. I'm going to pack this up, get on home, have something to eat, because I'm absolutely starving, and I will catch you on the next one. So if you haven't already subscribed, then please do. Like I say, feedback as always has been amazing, and the support that you've given me along this sort of fishing journey, if you like, has been epic. So I do send out mega thanks to you all, and yeah, see you soon. Take care, stay safe, and maybe see you out there. Cheers. No, came unclipped that time. See you soon.